Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Titans Talk as we talk all things Eastern Florida State College athletics with my great friend, yes, Mike Parsons. Does a great job as Director of Athletic Communications there at Eastern Florida. Mike, how you doing today, buddy?
Doing good. This weather's a little weird, but doing well.
Yeah, that's why I was stuttering right there. It's
Yeah.
too cold in my office. That's it. Okay. Usually what we do is, and we've had Mike on before, but usually we have different coaches on each week to break down individual sports. But when I texted Mike the other day, I was like, hey, what's going on? And you sent me this text back. Well, this is going on. This is going on. I was like, all right. Let's just get Mike on. Let's just do that. We'll break it down. Let's start with volleyball because I know I had some of the players, coaches on last week. They went to, Fort Myers last weekend. What's the latest on volleyball, buddy?
Yep. So unfortunately, their season ended. They lost in the state tournament, which is the FCSA championships last weekend. We went over to Fort Myers. The team that we lost to finished third overall, which when two of the conference teams are number 1 and 2 in the country, that's not bad. But the girls were a little disappointed, but Emma's like Emma talked about, she's going to UCF, and that's amazing. And, our program just keeps growing and growing each year.
Emma was fantastic to talk to. And like you said, yeah, she's committed to go to UCF next season. And I like where Coach brought up, this is the type of athlete that I want to bring to Eastern Florida. Tell us about Emma, your experience with her, and what she brought to the table for the Titans.
Yeah, 100%. Emma Cook is one of those special ones. Off the court, she might be better than on the court, which is saying a ton. But Emma Cook is one of those athletes that you miss. I mean, when she's not around, you're like, man, where's Emma been? I see hundreds of athletes every day. They're coming around all the time, but Emma Cook's just one of those that is fun to be around. She's fun to talk to. She's very bright. And, she has the future's wide open for her, and I'm so happy she's going to UCF so we can still watch her a little bit.
Yeah.
And so that's awesome. But on the court, she has, she was the first real star that Melito has had that you're like, wow, when she's on the court, she makes a true difference. Her and, Gaia a couple years ago were the same way, but, those kind of athletes don't come around, and that's what he's looking for is the next Emma Cook, which is going to be hard to do.
You're absolutely right. And it's interesting from your perspective. You talk to these students all the time in these different sports. Is that a great success story for the program? You see someone like Emma, now she's going to go play for someone like UCF like that.
100%. That's the kind of thing that, these coaches will all tell you, that's the kind of athlete you want, because then you can sell the next athlete. Look, Emma came here. She did a great 2 years with us, led us to a lot of things, and now she's going to play at UCF. That's the kind of thing that your athletes now are like, oh, yeah, I can do that. I can be the next Emma Cook. So, 100%, those are the ones you want. Men's soccer has one right now in Mukisa Emmanuel. He's at SMU scoring goals all the time. And, so head coach Adam Butler's like, you could be the next Mukisa. You come here for 2 years, you can go to SMU or somewhere and be scoring goals in big time soccer games. So, those are the kind of athletes that really, really do change a program.
All right, we're here with Mike Parsons. Does a great job with athletic communications at Eastern Florida. This is Titans Talk. Okay, you bring up Coach Butler in soccer. What's the latest on those guys?
Yeah, so we found out this week that the men's soccer team's back in the national tournament. We got one of the at-large bids, so we'll be the number 6 seed. And so the third straight year that Coach Adam and the team has been to the national tournament. And so it's at Daytona State, which is weird. Usually at this point, I'm trying to book flights and when am I leaving and how long are we going, that kind of thing. But this one's right down the road, so it's nice. And that it's probably not nice because I'll still have other sports I can do here. Or if I go somewhere, hey, I'm out.
It's funny with you. We don't get to hear that side. It appears it's like you're George Costanza, assistant to the traveling secretary. You're also booking flights, hotels. You're doing that as well behind the scenes.
100%. Yeah. So like Coach Butler was in earlier just telling me what his plan was so that I can figure out my plan. And, he's asking, so when are you going to be around and that kind of thing. So, I do it a little different in that I kind of schedule myself separate from the team so that I can do what I need to do. And I'm not asking, can we do this? Can we do that? So usually when I travel, I'll get my own car and I go, to every practice with them, every walkthrough, and then I'm at the games an hour or so early. But then right after the game, they'll go eat, they'll go do this. I got to go right. I got to go actually do my job. So that's why I usually kind of go separate, but in the same hotel and everything, so that, I do interviews in the hotel lobby. That's one of the best places to sit down with these athletes and talk. It's kind of cool.
No, I understand. I've interviewed coaches and kitchens at the Vieira Holiday Inn, so don't worry. Okay?
Nothing better.
Whatever you got to do to get it done. Okay. So I hope Holiday Inn like the
like the plug.
Right? Very nice kitchen staff. Where I told them, shh, I got to interview this coach right now.
That's right.
Exactly what it is. All right, so that's soccer. So one more time, when are they going to be playing exactly?
Yeah, so men's soccer will open Monday. They play Monday and Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. The way soccer works is they go pool play. So 12 teams make it. They go 4 groups of 3. You play everybody else in your group, and then the top goes to the semifinal.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Okay, how about women's soccer then?
All right, so women's soccer, unfortunately, season's over. They didn't get the bid into the national tournament. So for the first time in a while, we're not in the national tournament. But, the head coach, Scott Carswell, is already recruiting. He will be back there next year, I have no doubt. So it wasn't a bad year. It's just our conference, our region is so good. Daytona State is the number 1 team in the country. They were the number 1 seed in the national tournament. Good chance to repeat as national champion. So, Scott knows what he has to do, and he's going to go out and find the athletes to do it next year.
Hopefully with soccer, especially with the men's program, how about we don't play in 35-degree weather in Daytona?
Yeah, so
how about that?
Hopefully, knock on wood, it won't be that. No. So the one cool stat that, we'll see if it happens, but the women's soccer team actually won their national title at Daytona. And so Adam's hoping maybe we strike twice and win another one at Daytona.
Right. That would be great. Yeah, and Coach does a great job. All right, so that is, looking at volleyball, soccer here for Eastern Florida Athletics. All right, cross country.
Oh,
talking about cold weather. What
cold weather? Yeah, cold weather. That would be the headline of that trip. So the national tournament for men's and women's cross country was in Iowa, which you can imagine what that's like in Iowa running. And so they do cross country is really cool in the national tournament, and that they do the regular cross country national tournament, and then 2 days later they have a half marathon national championship. And so,
well, that's cool. Hey, first off, that's cool they competed. Hey,
it is. No, it's great. Yeah. And so we compete in the national tournament in the cross country, and it's the 5K and the 8K, and everybody does well. We're one of the top Florida finishers, which is what you want to be. Actually, Jaden McKee was one of the top 50, so he'll be an All-American. They'll probably announce that next week, which is a freshman. That's awesome. So then 2 days later, they have to run in the half marathon, which I don't know about any runner who can say, oh, I usually run a 5K, but I'm going to run 13 miles in 2 days.
Oh, man. Where did this take place at in
Iowa?
So
Fort Dodge, Iowa. And so I get pictures from our head coach, Doug Butler, of snow and wind. And
Fort
so it's
Dodge
like
is up there. It is up there.
It is way up there.
I lived in central Iowa. Sometimes I forget this, that I lived there for 4 years. Okay. I swear, I was in the car over the weekend listening to the Iowa-Oregon radio broadcast. Gary Dolphin, the voice of the Hawkeyes. Nice. And I'm listening, oh, wow, this sounds familiar. Oh, that's right, Mark. You lived in Iowa for a while. Oh,
you listened to him.
Yeah. What is? So, man, Fort Dodge is, man, how did you
It was 20 degrees and snow on the ground. We had kids on our team that had never seen snow, not along running it.
That is, we'll have to get Coach on next week. I need to.
I know, it was wild.
That's hey, you know what it is? I love the competition aspect.
Yeah.
Hey, wherever, whenever. If it's on the planet Jupiter, let's rock and roll. Let's go.
And that's basically what Coach said. It is cold. It is cold and it is rough, but everybody's running in it. So it's not like we can say, well, it's not fair. They run down in Daytona and we run up here. Everybody's running in it. So, that makes it much better for everybody in that it's a fair field as far as that goes. It's just running in snow and 20-degree weather. As you know, a couple of the runners told me, and Coach Butler said, your feet don't get warm.
Oh, no,
So the rest of your body, because you're running and moving, you don't feel it as much. He said, but your feet do not get warm.
that's really cool. I imagine you as the booker. You're like, all right, how do I get to Fort Dodge, Iowa?
Yeah.
How did you do it exactly?
So I believe the team flew into Des Moines and then drove.
Yeah, a couple hours.
A couple hours in what was nice weather, I can sure.
Yeah, it was. Get me back to Melbourne.
Yeah, exactly.
For this. That's awesome. Hey, good. That's awesome for the Titans.
Yeah.
So that is what's it called? That's cross country. Let's go to basketball. Do we have a tournament here at the Titan Fieldhouse this weekend?
We do. The men's basketball team will be home for the first time this season, and it's for a tournament, the Eastern Florida Classic, Friday and Saturday. Friday's games are 4 and 6 p.m. Saturday will be 2 and 4. So we have two Georgia teams, South Georgia State, who went to Hutch last year, won the district, and then South Georgia Tech, who is always really good. They've come down many years and played against us here in tournaments. Usually the Jim Grimes Classic, they're usually always at. And so they'll be here, and then us and Indian River. And so we'll play, each one of the Georgia teams both days. So we play South Georgia State Friday, South Georgia Tech on Saturday.
All right, let's just clarify this. Titans have not had a home game yet then.
Nope. This will be the first home game for them. So we're 3-1. They went out to Idaho, so not much better, but at least they were indoors.
Take that, Fort Dodge, Iowa.
Yeah, exactly.
How did the team do in that tournament last weekend?
We finished third. We lost in the semifinals, so then won the third place game. Second straight year we've been out there. It's a great tournament. It's called the Battle for the Boot. It's all about mental health and awareness and things. So the tournament's amazing, and it's always really good competition. And our player, Sean Register Jr., he ends up with the player of the week. He averaged 25 points a game out there, and he's had a great start. He's one that fans will definitely want to come out and watch this weekend. But this team runs up and down the court. They shoot well. It's a fun team to watch.
What about the women's team then?
So women's team came off a big win at Tallahassee on Sunday. They're off now until next Friday, and then they're home for their home opener next Friday at 5:30. So, yeah, we're getting right started with basketball. It's here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. All of basketball started around the country at the different levels. Do you guys have anything? If I put you on the spot, are there any tournaments for Thanksgiving weekend that you guys are going to for any of the sports?
No, Thanksgiving.
Oh, you're off.
I actually get turkey.
Wow. You are off. Wow, I'm happy. Hey.
I'm off for, knock on wood, quite a bit. Yeah, quite a bit of that week. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's interesting because I know you've done stuff in years past for things. And look, Thanksgiving's right around the corner.
It really is.
It really is. That's interesting. And by the way, now I'm laughing when I say this. I like where I asked Coach last week with men's basketball. I asked him, all right, your relationship with SGA, the reigning MVP, can you get us a hookup on his Converse shoes that are sold out? And Coach literally picked up the shoes on camera. So if anyone needs them, they're in his office.
They're in his office, yeah.
I know it's locked. There's no way you're getting in there. It's Ocean's 11.
It's not, it will be now.
That is awesome, dude. Any other sports that I'm missing right now for Titans Talk, or is that it?
Nope. That's it. So now we head into that part of the season where we have a few weeks of just basketball before baseball and softball and tennis and everything gets started. So this is my catch a breath / dive into basketball, which, as you know, just like you, that's a fun time of year.
It really is. I need to come out. So again, tell us about the basketball tournament this weekend.
Yep. Friday and Saturday. Friday's games are 4:00. We play at 4:00. So we play the first game both days. So we play at 4, and then 6:00 will be the Indian River and South Georgia Tech. And then Saturday, 2:00, we'll play South Georgia Tech, and then Indian River will play South Georgia State at 4:00. And as always, admission is free. Great basketball. You got to come out and watch this team play because this team's special.
You're absolutely right. We're here with Mike Parsons. Does a great job. Director of Athletics Communications with Eastern Florida Athletics. Well, man, thanks for your help and have a great rest of the week. All right.
Thanks, you too.